morning, everybody. And thank you, first of all, to Professor Keogh and the directors of the Centre for the invitation to be here with you this morning. Deloitte launched our founding partnership with the DCU Centre for Climate Society around this time last year, and it was a great honour for us to play a key role in the development of such an important facility, the first of its kind. Over the last years, we've seen continued uncertainty and disruption, a global pandemic, an outrageous war in Europe, the cost of living and energy crisis. The list goes on and on. At the top of that list, around the world we experience increasing weather-related events and devastating impacts on people and nature. Whilst there are many competing priorities, we can no longer ignore the urgency surrounding the climate crisis and the need for immediate action from all sectors of society. In a recent Deloitte CXO sustainability survey, it showed that only economic outlook ranked higher than climate action when our respondents were asked to rank the issues that were most pressing for their organisations. The business community has recognised the need to take climate action, but the journey must be accelerated. We're talking to clients across multiple sectors in this space, and we're seeing that companies at varying level of maturity when it comes to sustainability. However, I suppose the momentum is growing and plans are now in progress with clear actions being translated into those plans. Over 40% of businesses are planning to look at achieving supply chain efficiencies in the coming year, and this presents an opportunity to ensure ESG considerations are at the heart of their processes and their decisions. Progress towards solutions requires collaboration across the entire ecosystem of private and public sector, as well as institutions and government organisations, across industries and across sectors, bringing together a community of people like the people we have in this room today. To drive systemic change, we need to recognise that we might not always have the answers, but we need to be transparent about that and the progress we're making. Collaboration is also key to driving solutions, and for example, what the Centre is doing in bringing the expertise together to explore how different social arenas such as politics, media, education and policy can influence climate action is part of that solution. The influence and collaboration must be driven by business leaders to drive progress and change. Leaders in business should be setting science-based, ambitious targets because we know that companies who set science-based targets make faster progress than their peers in reducing their emissions. Today's conference focuses on biodiversity loss. I know we'll hear later from the panel on the business response to climate change and the biodiversity regulation. The recent Citizens' Assembly on biodiversity noted that the Irish business community needs to engage with biodiversity and show leadership in the same way it has begun to engage on the climate crisis. We are listening and we will engage. This is another area where collaboration will be key. Business need to work closely with the wider society to prioritise biodiversity and put nature considerations at the centre of the decision-making process. The climate crisis cannot be solved without nature and biodiversity. As the conversations about net zero continue, they should go hand in hand with the conversations around nature positivity. Setting nature positive targets will increasingly become a core business benchmark, and in advance of the introduction of the task force on nature-related financial disclosures, business should be making ambitious targets. I, like others here today as a business leader, have a role to play in not just educating myself, but also our employees, our clients, on the importance of biodiversity and the role we can play as businesses in setting and delivering nature-positive targets. Like many businesses, we at Deloitte have an established and well-progressed carbon targets around renewable energy, supply chain and travel, but we now recognise that nature and biodiversity is the next frontier for sustainability and have begun the process of examining how our organisation interacts with nature and our impacts on biodiversity to gain a true picture of what impactful steps we can take. There is no question that we are at a turning point when it comes to climate and biodiversity, and the onus is now on us all to take action and protect our future. I'm sure we can look forward to a day of thought-provoking discussion ahead and really would encourage people to participate. And again, I'd like to pass on my thanks and the thanks of Deloitte for the opportunity to engage with the Centre and with the Professor and the team. Thank you.